All right, I'm gonna record this tutorial for task 5. It's collocations. This is advanced task 5 collocations. So we'll start with the first few steps. First step will be like the other tasks. Import the tokens from both documents. So you write your document names here. And then you import the process tokens that we calculated earlier. Those are the tokens processed. Read those in for the first and read them in for the second. Okay, so now tokens 2 and tokens 1 are the list of tokens, the tokenized documents. So we can do some simple collocations. First, we'll import this collocations module from NLTK. And in order to use this collocations function, you have to use it on a text object. So we take tokens 1 and we turn it into a text object using NLTK.text. So then we'll call that text 1, and then with that text 1, we can run this function collocations. And these are some collocations, bigrams. Good Lord, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, have seen, enter, have heard, set down. Okay, so these are a list of collocations, and you can check that text 1 is it's a text document or text object. I'm not exactly sure the structure. We can do the same thing for tokens 2, turn it into a text object and then calculate collocations. Okay, but that's fine, but these collocations this function doesn't allow us to manipulate like whether it's the bigram or trigram, 2 grams or 3 grams, and also the frequencies. So we're going to use this. That was fine for simple collocations, but for more advanced ones, I have a couple of tutorials here I've linked, and we'll start with bigrams. So you want to choose a frequency of collocations to filter. So this is collocations, bigrams, which appear 4 times or more. So this filter, later on, we're going to filter out bigrams that occur with lower than 4, a frequency of lower than 4. You might want to change this later, 3 or 2, if you don't get enough. And if you still have too many, you can make it bigger. So for now, I'll just keep it 4. You can change it and play with it though. And then we're going to create a bigram measures function using this NLTK collocations bigram association measures function. So we'll save it as a bigram measures, and we'll use this later below. There's also a trigram measures, trigram association. We're going to use that in a later step. So we've got our filter frequency, we've got our bigram measures. Now we're going to use this function bigram collocation finder from words in text 1. This is the text that we created up here. So we also have to run this on the text object, and we'll call that finder 1. And then this is a bigram collocation finder object. And now we're going to apply our frequency, our filter frequency, which we set as 4. So we'll apply frequency filter. This is where we filter out collocations occurring less than 4 times. Okay. And now we're going to, using the bigram measures, we'll calculate the raw frequency of each of these bigrams in finder 1 and take the n best, in this case, the top 1,000. But there are fewer than 1,000, I think. So this is the whole list. Is it n best? we can see this, there are 89 bigrams with a frequency of 4 or more. But if you see, if we do it as 3, oops. Yeah, then we get 206. So for now, we'll stick with 4. This gives us 89 bigrams. Okay, and then we're going to sort these. Well, we're actually going to calculate their frequency distribution in doc 1. We're still working in doc 1, and we're going to do this by calculating the n-gram frequency distribution and then sorting these in ascending order by their frequency that they appear. So let's see. So these are the 89 bigrams in order of frequency. So this bigram occurs 23 times. Enter king appears 15 times. This appears 13 times, and so on. Okay, now let's do the same thing for document 2. So I've got all the same code in here. We're gonna same filter frequency. And let's also calculate the length. So there were 89 for doc 1, and we have 53 for doc 2. And then we can also sort by frequency. So enter Macbeth appears 18 times, exit scene appears 15 times, knock knock 10 times, Lord Macbeth 10 times. Okay. So we've got this list of bigrams. Any bigrams appear in both of the documents. So we're going to calculate the shared bigrams in the 2 docs. So, oops, bigrams. So here for n-gram we'll return n-gram for n-gram in finder 1 best, and if n-gram is also in finder 2 best and best. So this gives us a list of bigrams that appear in both documents. Now, if this is empty, if this overlapping bigrams gives you an empty list, it might be because your filter frequency is too high. So right now it's 4. If this list is null, overlapping bigrams is empty, you can go back up to the line, filter frequency, and change this to a smaller number, like 2 or 3. So good Lord, enter king, have seen, which thou art, would have. So fine. Now, these bigrams appear in both documents, but they don't appear at the same frequency in each document. So just to check that, note that the frequency of shared bigrams is not necessarily the same in each document. So we can take, instead of finder n best, I'm using finder nd. This had the FD, this had the frequency distribution. So if it appears in finder 2 n best, well, it'll still give us the list of overlapping, but it's going to return the bigram with the frequency. So you can see these, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 12 or so of these. The same ones, but they're resorted now by their frequency that they appear in doc 1. And of course, in doc 2, we still have these same n-grams, but they will appear with a different frequency. So here I use the frequency distribution of finder 2, checking if it's in finder 1. So same bigrams again, but the distribution is different. Here, this thou is 9 after 4 other ones. Here it's the most frequent one. And here thou art, 7 in the first doc. Here thou art is 9 in the second doc. So it's the same list of bigrams, but the frequencies are different in the two documents. Okay. So for the first part of the assignment, we'll look at the top 10 bigrams in Doc 1 and the top 10 bigrams in Doc 2 and the overlapping bigrams in the two docs. So to find the top 10 bigrams in Doc 1, we'll go here. It should give us the top 10. Let's copy these. That's Doc 1. Oh, that's Doc 2. And up here to Doc 1. Okay, so these are the top 10 for Hamlet. Okay. Oops. Okay. And what about overlapping bigrams in docs 1 and 2? We have these are the overlapping ones. Okay. So we have top 10 bigrams in doc 1, top 10 bigrams in doc 2, and overlapping bigrams in the two. Good Lord, enter King, have a scene, style thou art, would have. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing, but with trigrams. So step 4, collocations, trigrams. Trigrams are going to occur at a lower frequency than bigrams, so I'm using filter frequency of 2. You could use 1, but we'll just see what happens. And then for our measures, we're using trigram association measures. So, and then for finder 1, trigram collocation finder for text 1, from words text 1. This is just like the last step, except it's trigrams instead of bigrams. And now we'll apply our frequency filter, which we set here as 2. So apply that. Okay, now we're going to find trigram measures, raw frequency, top 1000. And here are our trigrams. You can see we have 88 of those. You can also calculate those with the frequencies. So take finder 1, calculate the n-gram frequency distribution and sort by the frequency. Right. And if we take this, it'll give us the top 10. And these are the top 10 trigrams in doc 1. And let's stop there for a second. Okay, we're back. So those are the top 10 highest frequency trigrams in doc 1. And then we repeat it for doc 2. So exactly the same code. Here's all the trigrams in doc 2 with frequency 2 or greater. How many is that? That's 76. So we can sort these by frequency distribution, and we can calculate the top 10 like this. And those are our highest frequency trigrams for doc 2. And then we can also calculate the overlapping trigrams in doc 1 and 2. So if for n-gram in finder 1 best, if the n-gram is also in finder 2 best, then we'll include that in our list of overlapping trigrams. And these are the overlapping trigrams. They're not very distinct because all the distinct ones in Macbeth are about Macbeth and cauldron, bubble, and burning, fire. All the ones in Hamlet are about Polonius and Lord and Hamlet, Horatio. So those are more recognizable. The ones that overlap are more related to plays like exit the scene or enter the scene, more like stage directions. So, okay. So now we're going to move to the last part. We've looked at, and we can see just like before that the frequency of these three is not necessarily the same in the two documents. Here it's 422, here it's 432 in different order, but it's fine. So lastly, we're going to look at collocations containing a keyword. So let's look at this. To choose a keyword, let's go back to the prior task. If you look at the word fob, or let's say the box plot for Hamlet, the bar plot in purple ones like Lord and King, these appear in both. But ones like the red ones, Hamlet or Father, these appear only in Hamlet. So I'm going to look at King and Lord and Thou, because these are contained in both documents. And then for doc 1, I'm going to look at the keyword Hamlet and Father. Those appear frequently in doc 1. And then in doc 2, I'll look at the bar plot for Macbeth. We have here for Macbeth only, we have Macbee and Macbeth, and then Lady. So Lady Macbeth. So for Macbeth, I'm going to look at Macbeth and Lady. These are pretty unique to doc 2. So let's look at the here for the n-grams. I'll just look at frequency 1. Because collocations containing these keywords may be lower frequency. So here, I'm using the same code as above to find the bigrams in document 1, except I'm adding in this one line where I'm only including n-grams in finder 1 in the top collocations if keyword is in the n-gram. So, and then I'll save that as finder 1 keyword and output it. So let's look for King. And here, whoops, yeah, so these are all bigrams containing the word king, the keyword king. Enter king, king queen, king have, lord king, king Hamlet, king Laertes, king shall, father king, like the king, like king, kill king. So, okay, and then we can do the same for here, where the keyword is also king, so I run that. And we have collocations for king. And then we can look for overlapping ones. So enter king, go king, shall king. That's for a shared keyword. That is overlapping bigrams. So the shared keyword here is king. And these are the three bigrams that are shared, that overlap. And then let's see if we have any trigrams. We may not, but uh, here are trigrams containing the word king: enter king queen, enter king king, king body king have letter, and then we can look for two. And are there overlapping? No, no overlapping. So for here, I'm just say none for this keyword. Okay, and then for the keyword that's unique to document one, we'll just do this one time. We'll go back up, choose a keyword for document one. Let's choose Hamlet. Here are all the bigrams. Obviously no Hamlet in doc2. Obviously no overlapping. So these are the bigrams containing Hamlet. And then are there trigrams containing Hamlet here? Yeah, so here are all the trigrams containing Hamlet. Top 10. I didn't calculate frequency. You can just add them all in. We'll just say diagrams. And then, so that keyword is Hamlet. Here, the keyword unique to doc2 would be Macbeth. And we'll just calculate all the bigrams in doc2 and all the trigrams in doc2. So to run that, we go back up to the top, and we'll choose Macbeth. Let's choose Macbeth. And I don't expect to see any Macbeth in doc1, but in doc2, there's, let's see, a lot of Macbeth. So these are the bigrams containing Macbeth in doc2. And lastly, we'll calculate the trigrams in doc2. Oops. There's the trigrams containing Macbeth. And here are all the trigrams containing Macbeth. And what did I have up here that I need to calculate? Bigrams containing Hamlet. Here are all the bigrams containing Hamlet. All right. So I've got, for the shared keyword king, I have overlapping bigrams. I didn't have any overlapping trigrams. For the keyword unique to doc1, Hamlet, I had bigrams and trigrams. And for the keyword unique to doc2, Macbeth, I had bigrams and trigrams. Yeah, and that's it. So I'm going to save this as task 5 collocations. I'm going to put this up in we'll save this as task 5. And okay, and then I'm just gonna upload the activity. You can upload the, sorry, the assignment. You can upload your file here. I'll call this it's loaded in. Got the Word document here, collocations, and just upload that here right under advanced task 5 along with the script. So the script is here, and down here too I've got the um, so down here in step 6 I have the list of things to report, but you can just look at the Word document as a template. So I'll save that. And then scripts, here's the code, and in results, there's my Word document. So when you run the code, you just download this code and run it, and then you can use this task 5 collocations Word document as a template, update it for your own file, for your own documents, and then upload it here for task 5. I'm going to upload this as a tutorial, YouTube tutorial, and I'll put it right under here, YouTube tutorial task 5. Well, that's it. All right. Let me know if you have any trouble, and I'll see you guys on Zoom.